Welcome back to another recording with Shadia from Autism Actually and Jemima from Dyslexia Demystified. Today we're again discussing a little Q&A question that we have about this time of online learning and how we're struggling but also coping with that new challenge. So today our question is about how we keep ourselves motivated to learn, and also how we keep ourselves socially connected, because obviously now that we've got these new isolation rules in place, we can't see our friends in person, and a lot of us are having to use new technologies like Zoom and things like that to keep in touch online. So I'm going to throw over to Shadia, and she's going to talk a bit about how she stays socially connected and also motivated to do her study.
Thank you, Jemima. Yeah, I think it's important to keep in touch with people socially. It's a good excuse to have a break from study when you want to. Some of the main ways I've been keeping in touch with people, I usually don't like phone calls, so I've been texting people via SMS or Messenger. I use Messenger quite a lot just because it's easy to use. And it also has some nice functions, like if I'm speaking to Jemima, for example, I can send her a voice recording or look up something in our conversation. And it also has this really handy tool where you can reply to messages. And I found that really helpful because it helps me keep track of what we're talking about. And I can flip back through and go, okay, what was that? I've completely forgotten what you were saying. So that's been really good. Some of the face-to-face virtual chat systems that I've used have mainly been Zoom. So my friends and I like to play Dungeons and Dragons, and of course that's been impacted because we can't meet up in person. But we've actually found the online format much easier for our scheduling, because meeting face-to-face means choosing a venue to go to, blocking out a few hours of your day to play Dungeons and Dragons because it takes ages. Whereas online, we can just meet up in the evening, not have to travel anywhere, and go to bed at a reasonable hour. So it's actually been really good. So we've been using Zoom Pro. For people that might not have Zoom Pro as an option, there's actually an app online that's free called Google Hangouts, and you can invite friends, and it's a free platform. It's very similar to Zoom. Something else that I've done a bit with some of my friends is go on gaming when I've felt like I've achieved a lot in the day, maybe in the evening, not too close to my bedtime though, because otherwise it keeps me up. And I'll go on Minecraft or something, and we'll play an hour of Minecraft or something else. All right, there's a good game called Tabletop Simulator, so you can actually play board games and card games with your friends, and use Discord if you want to talk to them via voice chat. So that's been a lot of fun. That is actually giving me a chance to connect more to my friends than I have even when I've had the face-to-face option. So yeah, I'm finding I'm socializing more now, which is really odd.
That's awesome. No, good for you. I think you raised some really good points. And I think, technology is actually becoming, or it's being forced to become more disability friendly. And they're getting a lot better at setting up things like voice messaging, and that reply function, which we both love because we both really struggle to sort of find where the conversation started and stopped, and you're often having sort of 5 different conversations in one with someone. Same sort of story for me. I've been, really trying to find those new ways to connect with people. And, I really encourage you guys to get out and find those sort of online substitutes, I guess, for, board games or whatever it is. It might be, if you're obviously over the age of 18, you might be having, a G&T over drinks. I know that, in my parents' businesses, they have Friday night drinks over Zoom. And so everyone's drinking, and you're definitely not drinking alone. But it's, it's nice to have that sort of social connection that you would normally have, in your day. And seeing people's faces, I think, actually holds a lot of meaning. I think I feel quite differently when I'm speaking to Shadia over Zoom, for instance, compared to over Messenger. And I think for anyone who has a dyslexic friend in particular, please sort of be mindful of how taxing it now is to use those written-based apps, because, for dyslexics, we love to communicate through conversation. And so now that we're not doing that and everyone's relying on these, heavily written messenger systems, it means that we've got a lot more cognitive load in terms of having to reply to messages, whether that's on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. But yeah, like Shadia said, a lot of really good apps out there for playing board games online. I know my family, we're all sort of spread out across Australia, and we play Catan online. That's our favorite board game. Not sure if you play Catan, Shadia. Maybe we can have a battle.
I love Catan, yeah. I've seen
great.
Catan online. I'm trying to encourage my friends to do it.
So good. Little plug for Catan, totally unsponsored, but it's great. But yeah, I think
sponsor us though, Catan.
Yes, please sponsor us, Catan. Mr. Catan. Anyway, we digress. But yeah, I think the main thing is that, we have to actually now take the initiative as young people to actually organize times with people and hang out with people. We can't just sort of wander off after school and have our social time with people at the cafe down the road. You actually have to make an effort in reaching out to people. And I guarantee that if you do make that effort, people really appreciate it. If Shadia reaches out to me and says, hey, do you want to catch up? I'm actually like, oh yeah, I've been really missing that time, but maybe I didn't feel confident enough to reach out to her, or something like that. As we've said in previous webcasts, you need to break up your time, and you need to set boundaries for yourself and figure out what you need to recharge your own battery. Is it social time? Are you a bit more extroverted and, you need social time to kind of recharge your batteries? Or are you someone who needs to take isolation, quite literally and isolate a bit for a while and sort of do your own thing to recharge?
I think if your friends are neurodivergent or autistic as well, I think given that we're already kind of socially isolated, it would be a good idea to check up on us, because I know that for me, because my routine's been thrown out the window and things are not operating as they usually are, it's been really tough on me. But having my friends just check up, you're having Jemima send me a message going, hey, how's it going? That means a lot to me, and I know that it would mean a lot to other neurodivergent people who might be struggling a bit to keep up with things.
Shadia and I have talked about how we communicate, as very different individuals. Who I struggle with text, she loves text. She struggles with auditory, I love auditory. But we find a way to make it work. So it's just having that awareness of what your friends need to be able to have that social connection, but in, I guess, a non-exhausting kind of way. Something that's fun, but, doesn't take a lot of energy for them to be able to process. So that's just something to keep in mind socially for us neurodivergent individuals. But we're going to leave it there at that stage, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to our 5 little webcasts that we've had so far. This is all we've planned for, but it doesn't mean the conversation has to stop here. If you have a burning question, please do get in contact with us or write a comment below, and then we can, Shadia and I can set up another Zoom and we can answer those questions for you guys. But for now, thank you for tuning in, and I'll let Shadia say goodbye as well.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been great to chat, and yeah, send us any questions that you might have. Subscribe so you can get more updates, and yeah, if you want to see more videos like these, let us know.